What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to do a part two to a video I did about a month ago about invisible symptoms of ME. I'm going to list 5 and then a bonus one at the end. There are so many. A lot of people commented and said I left a lot out, so I thought I would do a part 2 and kind of follow up on invisible symptoms that everybody deals with on a daily basis, weekly basis. It's an invisible illness with a lot of invisible symptoms. So I'm going to jump right into the first one, and they are not in any particular order. Number 1, migraines. That is one symptom that a lot of people with ME have. It could be debilitating in and of itself. Oftentimes, I notice them coming on. Usually the pain starts right around the back of my head or neck, kind of moves forward. Some people have like an aura where they lose a little bit of vision, or it gets blurry, or they see different colors. And some people just have to be in a room, in silence and all lights off until they can either sleep it off or feel better. Migraines can be, anyone who's had a migraine knows that they're very debilitating. And that is one symptom that I think a lot of people with ME and CFS have had to deal with ever since coming down with ME. Number 2, insomnia. I think everyone with ME has some form of insomnia, and also feeling unrefreshed when waking up. So I would say the insomnia can range anywhere from not being able to fall asleep, not being able to stay asleep, not getting quality sleep or deep sleep. And then some people sleep 9-10 hours, and then they wake up and feel like they haven't slept at all. That's happened to me. It's a terrible feeling. Hard to explain to someone that hasn't had ME what that feels like. It's a very odd experience because you look at the time that you've been sleeping and you expect your body to be ready for the day, and it's just not happening. You're not refreshed. Your brain is in a fog. You just feel like you haven't slept at all. That could be very difficult to deal with on a day-to-day basis, especially if it's been weeks since you've slept. So yeah, that's a tough one, and I think it's an extremely common, probably more common than migraines. I would say insomnia is really common. Number 3, I did a poll on this one, and it's paresthesia. And in the poll, it's not very big. It had about 80, 85, 90 people that voted on YouTube, and it seemed like a third, little over a third of people with ME, myself included, deal with paresthesia, which is numbness and tingling, pins and needles, some feeling like something's crawling on your skin, or just having your whole hand go numb, or parts of the face. I didn't know that was as common as it apparently is. It's a symptom I developed later on after having ME for many years. There's no rhyme or reason for it, and I noticed that sometimes it just happens. My hand will go numb, or sometimes my face, part of my face, my foot. But the tingling and the numbness can be pretty serious, especially if you're losing feeling in your hand, and you're doing something that obviously, cooking or cutting something, or it could be pretty detrimental to the task at hand. So yeah, that's something that a lot of people don't talk about with ME. There's other neurological illnesses that can cause that. So if you are having that and have ME, it's important to rule out the other illnesses that can cause that. So there is a lot of overlap with other illnesses like MS, lupus, and other illnesses. So talk to your doctor about that if you have that. Number 4, dizziness and lightheaded. A lot of people have a quick drop in blood pressure when they sit up too quickly, or just general dizziness. For me, I have dizziness if I move my head too quickly. That didn't used to happen. I used to have great balance, never would get dizzy. I would skateboard, snowboard, box a little bit, played general team sports. Average athlete, but I was active. And I was never dizzy before having ME. And now if I go to tie my shoes too quickly, I've actually fallen over. It's embarrassing, but I will lose my balance and kind of tip over. That's something that a lot of people may not know. Number 5. Now, this is a bit of a contentious topic, but number 5 is depression. Now, there are a lot, well, I wouldn't say a lot, but there are people out there that really, for some reason, are out to try to prove that ME is a psychosomatic or mental illness, which at this point I think is silly. You know, I think there's enough science, tests, biomarkers, inflammatory markers, protein markers that prove this is not a psychosomatic illness. But a lot of people that deal with chronic illness deal with depression. Now, the people that are on the other side of the argument say you're depressed, therefore you feel fatigue and tired and unrefreshed sleep and all these things. But if people that are actually educated on ME and aren't just out to just kind of try to annoy people and stir the pot, because there's a lot of that online, as we all know, if you talk to a lot of people with ME, you find out that they were kind of type A personalities, very successful in their careers and their life. They didn't have any history of anxiety or depression before becoming sick. I never did myself, and I've been lucky to not deal with a lot of depression, but I would say when finding out I had ME and I didn't really know what was going on, doctors not really being able to help, family kind of saying what's going on, friends not understanding, coworkers not getting it, I definitely got depressed for a few months, maybe close to a year. And luckily, with the support of my family, a good doctor, which I was fortunate to have, good friends, I got out of that depression, and I've never really dealt with that since. But I do know a lot of people that deal with severe depression. They are mourning who they used to be. They're mourning the loss of their career, their social life. A lot of people have lost spouses, kids, who are just not understanding of what's going on. So I think depression, I don't know if it's a symptom, but I think it is more of a result of having a chronic illness where you've lost so much of yourself and just lost so much of your health. And I don't think anyone would blame you watching if you have ME. And if you know someone with ME in your family and you're watching this video, maybe go easy on someone that has ME. They're dealing with a lot. They're confused. They're trying to figure out what their life is going to look like. A lot of their goals might be crushed. They might have to recalibrate a lot of different things, and a lot of people become depressed during that time, especially if they don't have a support group. I'm not especially stronger than anybody else. I'm just blessed enough to have people around me that really lifted me up when I needed it, and I never really looked back, and I have a good support group. Some people aren't fortunate to have that. So if you are a family member who happens to be watching this video, I urge you to please be patient and to try to be understanding that people are going through a difficult time in their life. A bonus one, and again, there are many other ones that you guys might leave in the comments that I left out because there's so many symptoms, but number 6 is food and medicine sensitivity. Certain foods and certain supplements or medicines just destroy me sometimes, which before it didn't at all. After having ME, I noticed that basic supplements, I'm talking similar to vitamin D or vitamin C, nothing too exotic, have caused a lot of problems. Gut problems, brain fog, malaise, just general feeling sick. Where a year before I had ME, I kind of was the type of person that could just take anything, eat anything, and I never had any symptoms of anything. I never got sick before, really, but I'd probably get the flu once every other year. It was pretty healthy. And then after that, to this day, if I take any supplements or anything out of the normal, I could expect a lot of side effects and symptoms to occur. So that is just 5 and a bonus. So I guess 6 symptoms that are invisible that a lot of people may not know of. Some are a little more rare than others. Some are pretty common. But really, this video is not just for people that are new to ME. but it's also for family members who might be trying to understand what a newly diagnosed family member is going through. It's a lot. Please be patient. Try to understand the illness. There's a lot out there now to learn about ME. It's not like 10, 15 years ago where really there was nothing. So I encourage anyone who has a family member or friend or coworker with ME to try to be a little bit more empathetic to the situation. Everyone's trying the best they can. They're trying to find answers to feel better, and unfortunately, there's not a lot out there yet. So I hope everybody has good holidays and Happy New Year. Until next time, take care.